Hello everyone, my name is Wayne Gallia and I'm doing an introductory video here on Game Maker Markup Language, GML. So we look at Game Maker Markup Language is used for making simple games using Game Maker. So here we are, I've got Game Maker open up in front of you. The aim of this video is mainly for my games design students, the first year students, but I mean anyone can use it. I'm hoping to put this on YouTube but we'll see how things go. So before further ado, let me just introduce the game to you. Now I've turned the background music off so you can hear me talk, but it usually has quite a loud background music. So I'm just click play here. I'll let it start up for a second. We should be playing it in a moment, and I'll introduce you to Shapeman. So this is Shapeman. I've not finished completed it because I've not put these pills everywhere. It's a variant of Pac-Man. I control this character here that I'm moving around with my mouse on. These guys here I've got my mouse over are enemies, and as you notice they keep changing shape. They keep changing shape in accordance with this number here. So 5 tells me they're going to be a pentagram. 2 will tell me they will be a cross next. 4 tells me there'll be a square, and so on. So I can see what they are, but I'm a circle. Now for me to kill them I've got to be the same shape of them. If I'm not the same shape, when I touch them I die. Very simple game. Idea is for me to clear them all out, then it progresses to the next level. I've not done that yet, but I'm just a concept. I want to kill that. See, my score went up. See if I can get some of these. Now they're going to change shape at some there. See, it changed shape. Cross, I wasn't the same, I died and I lost a life and I'm reset. That is Shapeman in essence. Right, so let me just tell you how I made the game. Well, the basics of it. Now for my game design students, you need to take this code, look at it, do your own flavour and variant of it, and look how you can progress it into making a much better game, and possibly even getting to a stage where you can publish this game, because I think it is publishable. So anyway, let me click X on that. Right, so let's go through here. So let me just, this is my game. Now I've got all my sprites to set up here, and these are all my objects. Now the main objects we're going to be talking about here is controller, object me, which is the character I control, and object enemy. There are other things as well, but I'm not mainly focused on them. That can be looked at another time. So what I want to talk about is how do we cope with this concept of how do I get it so that when I'm moving the character around I can bump into an enemy and the enemy keeps changing shape, and I can destroy them when I'm the same, and when I'm not the same they die. So let me just show you a Word document here with some of my thoughts on that. So in the scripting, well, I'm going to show my script in a minute, but I'm just doing a quick overview. I've got 4 main global variables which I'm highlighting here. My shape, sprite2, killed it, and I died. So let's go through what each of these global variables do. What does global variable mean? A global variable is a variable that can be used by all objects in the game. If you don't define them as global, they're just local to that object. Right, so let's go through each one of these. My shape is the shape of the main character. So if my shape is a circle, if the main character is a circle, my shape shows you a number which represents it. It actually starts at 0. So 0 is circle, 1 is cross, 2 is triangle, 3 is square, 4 is pentagon. If you notice the number is 1 less than the actual sides of the shape. That's how I did it. Sprite2 is exactly the same. Sprite2 has a value 0 to 4 again, but it's the shape of the, not the character, it's the enemy. So, and killed it is set true if we kill the bad guy. It's what's known as a Boolean variable, and we change it. These types of variables are called integers. There's a third type, well there's 2 more. There's a there's what's known as a string, and you put it in quotes like this. Here's another one. So this is a string. This is another type of variable, and another type of variable is a real number. So like 3.2 for that's a real. But 4, for example, is an integer. So these are integers, and those two are set as boolean. So killed it is set true if we kill the bad guy, and I died is set true if the main character died. So let's go through a little bit more detail. So if my shape is the same as sprite to, same as this variable here, so I'm just going to copy and paste, make it even clearer. If that is the same as that, in other words, that one equals that, then the enemy dies. So in other words, we're saying killed it to true. Got it? If my shape is same as that, that's set true. Right? If, however, my shape is not the same as sprite to, then the main character dies and we lose a life. If the lives are less than 1, then the game ends. But ultimately we say I died is true. So how do we actually code that? And that's quite a fundamental thing to get right in your head. That is not, these are variables. They're not, some people have noticed, some of my students have been setting these to the names of objects. You don't set them to objects or name of sprites. These are just variables that you set. Now for me, I've set them as 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4. So let's go to the game. Let's show you that. So if I open up, let's have a look at this one. I think it's there. So this is object me. Let's have a look at object enemy here. So if we collide with object me there, then this code gets run. So let's go through this. So now this is called a switch statement. It's a complex way of doing ifs. So remember this here. Let's put this side by side. Put them side by side and then show you how these two linked. So if my shape is same as sprite to, then the enemy dies, so we set killed it true. So if sprite to, notice this double equals. Double equals means is the same as, which is the same as that word. Sprite to, so in other words, if my shape is not, right? In other words, if my shape is a circle and sprite to is also a circle, then we set killed edit as true, which is this line here. So that is the same as that. Else, in other words, if my shape is not, which is there, but sprite to is 1, 2, 3 or 4, then we set I died as true, which I've set here. Right? So basically, if both are not, then we set killed it true. If I'm a not, in other words I'm a circle and they're a triangle, square, pentagon or cross, then I died is true. Have we got that, guys? Right, and the same is for this. So in other words, if I'm a 1, in other words I'm a cross and they're a cross, then they die, but else we die. And it's the same all the way through. Simple stuff. Let's pull this back up here. So here we've got all this. This is just a complicated if statement explaining that. I'll just scroll up and down and show you that. There, and put it in one line so you can have a good nose at it. So that's all that. Now, we want to say, if killed it is true, what we're saying, if we killed it, then, remember we're in object enemy, we want the object to die, and we want the screen, the score, to go up. And then we set it as false. So, you don't want the enemy dying repeatedly, we just die it once, set it to false, increase the score by 100, and set that. Now, remember we set another one called I died. Where does that get triggered? We're not in here. It gets triggered in me. So if I open up me, and if I go object enemy and open this code, it says if I died, then we reduce the lives by 1. That statement there says reduce lives by 1. If the lives are left to 1, you really are dead. I put a little comment there and I put a little message, you are dead, and the game ends. Else, in other words, if the lives are like 2 or 3, Then we have an explosion, which is this effect thing, which is that red explosion you saw. We destroy ourselves and then we recreate ourselves at the beginning, and then we'd obviously set the variable as false. Now I went through that quite quickly, but that in essence is how you do the simple coding for measuring if I die or they die. I hope that has cleared things up for people. I just want to show one more thing. Object me, what I want to remember, if I hit a wall I want to set the speed to 0. I just want to show you a bit more code. Triangle, now guess what this is going to do? This sets my shape as 2. So if a triangle, I've got to change this variable to show that I am a triangle, so my shape is changed to 2. Same for this one. My shape will be set to 3. My shape will be set to what, everyone? 1, that's correct. And pentagon, it will be set to 4. It's the number of sides minus 1, that's that number there. Simple really. So I want to show you one more thing, closing all these down. How do we randomize it? We've got this variable called this object called controller. When it sets up, we have iRandom business. iRandom, you just create a random number from 0 to 4. So sprite 2 is randomized, so the enemy starts as a random number. Sprite next is what's going to be in that box. So let me just go back to basically they died, but also you want to show them changing shape. So this is that. This draws the enemy. So if the sprite 2 is 0, it draws a circle. If it's 1, it's a cross. If it's 2, it's a triangle. If it's a 3, it's a square. 4, pentagon, and so on. I want to just find the bit. Here we go. This is the countdown business. Now you notice it every so often the enemy changes shape. So I've got a countdown. That countdown is a global variable set as 100. You don't have to. You've just could set it as whatever you want number. So that's a global number. Countdown is a number from 1 to 100. So it counts down here, reduces it by 1 if it's randomly above 50. It's like roller dice. If the dice is a 3, 4, 5, then we reduce this countdown. That's what that's on about. I've not explained it very well, but random number created here between 1 and 100. There's a 50% chance it's going to be greater than 50, isn't there? So if that is true, then we reduce the number. So this is a countdown, but it only gets activated if this is true. If it's true, then we change the sprite to the next sprite. Then we create a random next number. So that box is always showing you the next number because that's sprite next. Now reset the countdown to 100. Basically, I did that as a global variable so that all the enemies started moving off every time you change shape, they start moving off in a new direction. But you don't have to worry about that. And this bit is, I've not finished it yet, but that bit is all about when the number of enemies is less than 1. In other words, we've killed all the enemies. We want to run out of bad guys. We want to restart the level or move to a new level, which is basically you could have a new room, walls start moving, that sort of thing. But I've not written that in because this is just my demo, just to show you guys how to do things. So I hope that helped. My name is Wayne Galea again. Hope you enjoyed this very fast, quick-fired video, and I'll say goodbye for now. Thank you. Bye.